Okay, in this video I just want to start by telling you that it's not easy for me neither. Why do I do what I do then? Well, because I prayed and I asked, show me the way to reach to her heart, and since then that's what I do. So I'm just telling you, it's not easy for me neither. Warning, warning, warning. So now you know what spaghetti is about. So that's how you imagine me again. And I said to you, you were 99% right. I don't know if you remember that. And I know that you commented about a dragon. What's next? A unicorn? You know, I deleted those videos already, so I cannot show back, but you remember you posted this, so I'm going to go ahead and show you about this video here.
This is how to talk to your friend's girlfriend when he's not around. Let's begin.
Hi, how are you today?
Shut up.
Is everybody's type?
I like rich guys. I don't like broke guys.
Allie, what about you? What's your type?
6 foot, money, Mexican, well-mannered, family-oriented.
You say 6 foot Mexican? There's tall.
Yeah,
There's
there
tall.
are some tall ones.
Where are they at?
They're all tall.
Where are they at? Doesn't this torta, doesn't Gerlach the Destroyer know that finding a 6'2" Mexican is like seeing a Bigfoot riding a unicorn? And when you ask 2 Mexican, it's like seeing a Bigfoot riding a unicorn. And when you ask a girl what they want from a man, it truly be like this.
Vampire, werewolf, pirate, surgeon, billionaire.
But wait, there's more.
This is when a man is tall and strong and smart and interesting and funny, and he only wants to talk to me. He never cheats on me. He doesn't want any girl with me. And he buys me everything I want. That's what a real man is. And he doesn't do everything I want all the time. He's not a real man. He should sit at home and do everything I want. But he should have loads of money and also be spontaneous. He doesn't have to ever work. He always has loads of money. And he always focuses on me. I'm the most important thing in the world, even though I've achieved nothing. Shut the fuck up.
Perfect. Height matter? It does? I think weight matters. You think height matters. Let's see you on the scale. Miss Confident, height matters. You can just take it back. I'll take the scale away. All your problems will be gone. So just say height doesn't matter. So you're not gonna step on the scale. So you're a coward.
Hi.
Hi.
Are you a chess player?
I am.
Because I'm looking for a queen.
I'm a queen.
Really? All right, close your eyes.
I fucking hate you.
I can't. How did someone not realize this? I guess the goal is to keep her off the pole, right? But for some people's daughters, it's a little too late.
Did you really have straight A's?
Yeah, I did all through high school. I think I graduated with like a 4.5 something.
Because the clip with your brother, I mean, he did have a point. You got all those good grades for what? To sell yourself online?
All that study. For what?
We just started. So do you just come on here to piss me off? Like, you're supposed to be my brother.
No,
Like, you're supposed to show me love, not be against me.
I come on here to tell you the truth.
What the f are you talking about? What's the truth?
So when you leave here to go to Miami, you're living out your life. But
Yeah,
then
I'm living my life.
you just forget whatever happens in North Carolina and what happens to me at school. Like I get like bullied, but not like bullied, like punched at, but people just say shit and that pisses me off. And like I just wish I stopped because whatever you doing here affects me at North Carolina. I've been getting name called a lot more at school. Some random girl said, "See you later, Pinky."
Pinky.
All those comments.
There goes the pinky finger again.
Because whatever you doing here affects me at North Carolina. I've been getting name called a lot more at school. Some random girl said, "See you later, Pinky."
Pinky.
All those college studies, for what? That hits hard. Because most people who graduate with college degrees are still absolutely clueless. Take a look.
Should we want to sign a petition for a really good cause?
In every street, I'm not.
Tell me an interest.
It's a lie because it's really just true.
Comes on here right now.
And those glass burnt the damn house down. She really thought she was onto something. You had come up with. When I did it,
What's happening right now?
this girl is definitely the sharpest marvel in the bag. And those glasses didn't make it any better. She tried to cook, but burnt the food and burnt the damn house down. She really thought she was onto something. You had one chance to defend your intelligence. And this is what you come up with. When I say 2 + 2 is potatoes, that is woman's logic.
Of Adrian's deal breakers. Someone who doesn't have a job.
Yeah, someone who doesn't have a job.
I don't have a job.
You don't have a job?
Your beauty is like science. The way it give us chemistry like that. You see what I'm saying?
I don't know. It just makes me sad. Don't.
What makes you upset?
Say it. Nobody should ever say it.
We won't. What's up? We good.
Hey, what's up, my niggas? Don't forget to go for a run every once in a while. It's good for you.
That is a white man in a black man's body. I guess Mark Zuckerberg is using his black filters again.
Caitlin, how are you? You look good.
A bullshit? A bullshit? A bullshit? A bullshit?
On a scale of 1 to 10, how be
Okay.
straight?
You think gay or straight? I would. Are you gay or straight?
I would say I'm bi.
Do you think other people could guess that?
No, I don't think so.
Do you think that this guy is gay or straight?
He's gay.
Why?
Like, I don't know, it's just something about his smile.
Are you gay or straight?
I'm straight.
You think other people could guess that?
Honestly, it's like confusing. I've gotten gay sometimes.
Do you think that this person is gay or straight?
I'm gonna say bisexual, actually.
No. Why?
Game recognizes game.
Are you gay or straight?
Bisexual.
You think other people could guess that?
Definitely all the time.
Do you think that this lady is gay or straight?
She gay.
Why?
She look a little butchiest.
The sudden doubt in the second guy and his attempt at the straightest pose.
The night before we did it like that morning. We did it that night, in the middle of the night, waking me up. We did it before I cooked dinner. We did it after I cooked dinner. And then here I am. I can't walk, y'all. My customers out. And then here I am. I can't walk, y'all. My customers out. So if you stand for a living, you need to be able to walk. Yeah. Well, even if you were not a cosmetologist, didn't do hair, you would need to be able to walk. Right. So,
Yeah,
well, I I feel compelled on behalf of so many women to say to you, congratulations. I just wanted to put out there that some people's misery is some people's dream. You know what I'm saying?
He was probably waiting after court for round 8. And it's crazy that some people's misery is other people's dreams. No matter what you do for a woman, you can give her the earth, moon, and the stars. She'll find a way to bitch and complain.
A lot of you don't know that in Eastern Europe, it is actually socially acceptable to complain.
Complaining is very normal. Our culture is, having an intermediate level of dissatisfaction. Don't be too happy because that's suspicious. Why are you so? Then don't complain too much that you go into depression because that's also not allowed. But complain and gossip. And then I moved out of Eastern Europe into a more civilized place. And then people are happy for no reason. And then complaining is not, you have a negative energy, you are ruining the vibe. So now I have to become comedian so that when I do make my complaining, it's at least entertaining.
Butchiest.
The sudden doubt in the second guy and his attempt at the straightest pose.
The night before we did it like that morning. We did it that night, in the middle of the night, waking me up. We did it before I cooked dinner. We did it after I cooked dinner. And then here I am. I can't walk, y'all. My customers out. And then here I am. I can't walk, y'all. My customers out. Gonna walk. Yeah. Even if you were not a cosmetologist, didn't do hair held on behalf of so many women to say to you, congratulations.
$500 in your pocket. In my this knife, I saw these types of knives from somebody or someone to appear, and you were walking around and with this knife. See, when I paint, I use these types of knives. And when I cut cake around kids, I use this tool. And I remember when I saw her face, and the other one was calm, the one who came and told me. But I walked straight to you, took the knife from your hands, this knife, and that was the end of it. Nothing traumatic, but a little worrisome. All along, since the beginning, since your mother first told me not to engage with you, and then my own mother said she feared where it could lead, and my boyfriends being nagging about your presence over my house and your true intentions, until you finally admitted. You were dishonest from the start. And I can prove it by different examples that will follow. You deny even suffering from the illness, yet you are beneficiary of government aid over it. You also claim
It's not true. I refused when they offered to me that I would have a significant raise from the government because of my different infirmities, and I refused. I said, I keep to the minimum. I just want you to give me the strict minimum. But then psychiatric was telling me, but it's there for you. You should take it. You deserve it. Why don't you take it? I said, I know that I have real infirmities, but I can still be content with the minimum. So they did not understand why I did not try to take full advantage of what was there for me to take. Just like everybody were thinking the same when I was visiting you.
to cure it, government aid over it. You also claim I cured you 10 years ago, so how come are you still using that excuse to justify pain and suffering in your body that we both know probably comes from the fact that you self-inflicted wounds to your own body by
what I did here, the time I spent working this work instead of working another work was much better to serve than if I would have done work only to get myself a place to live. That would not have been profitable to nobody.
So the long-awaited story about the knife. After reading certain comments under videos posted through other channels, I came to wonder, will the testimony of 3 women overturn one of a man?
But the thing is that you're talking about the situation that happened over your place. But you see now that my testimony that I bring over YouTube does not stand alone. So it's not just my testimony alone against your testimony on YouTube.
You understand that my diary supports my memory, and that it doesn't mean that if I didn't write it down in my journal, I don't remember. And there's a clear reason why I remember seeing you holding awkwardly a knife in your hands on my birthday, because there were the 2 sisters, Algerian girls, one tall, long, curly hair, and the other one shorter.
You said the testimony of 3 women. So you're talking about those 2 sisters, Nigerian, and you're talking about yourself, your own testimony. But the testimony of those other two women, where is it? Where is it? If you say, will the testimony of one man will stand against the testimony of three women, then there's no other choice but to show the testimony of those three women, not just yours alone. Either you go all the way, either you don't. Because if you say, well, will the testimony of three women stand against the testimony of a man, then we got to hear about the testimony of the other two women. It cannot just be you alone. And I know that you said you did not want to expose them neither by showing on the YouTube, but then what I think should have happened would have been right is testimony of Simon, testimony of Danny Lavoie, testimony of those two sisters Nigerian, testimony of everybody involved in the story, testimony of Vincent Renault, testimony of everybody linked to this. This would have been right. Because if you say testimony of true women and we never see the testimony of the two other, because you say, well, I don't want them to be put in this situation, then I think it's very unfair to even say testimony of true women when there's none. There's no testimony of those two other sisters.
And it's the eldest of the two sisters that leaned over my left shoulder and whispered in my ears, and she said, you might not be worried about that fact, but I'm pointing out to you your cousin with a knife in his hands. And I turned over.
Okay, give me a minute for finish this. What is fair? What is just? What is right? What is true? I believe you when you say, even though I don't remember all of it, okay, I really sincerely did not remember it, but you say there was this going on, but when you say there's testimony of other, how is it that we don't see the testimony of the other? You cannot just say there's testimony of other when there's no testimony. Call them witness, but don't say testimony. There's no testimony. They are never raising their voice to say, here's what happened, here's my testimony. And by the way, testimony, okay, you think about testimony in court when people present themselves and they are asked, well, you've been witness, tell us what you saw, tell us testimony. Testimony with Jesus, okay, testimony is Jesus, is more like admitting what you did, and Jesus proved to you that he saw you, and then after that you saw the consequences, and after that you put the testimony out there how you were brought back to him. That's a testimony for Jesus. So when you're talking about testimony, do you really understand what is a testimony? There's another 2 hours. So think about it. You are not sure about what is love. I'm telling you what is love. You don't know what is friends neither. I'm telling you what is friend. You know, friendship, relationship. What do you think it is? What is a testimony? What is respect? What is to not want to show yourself to the world, but bringing the painting made of your hands? Why show the knife? People think that it's more believable because you hold the knife. Either it happened, either it didn't happen. I don't even know. What I remember for sure is that you invited me to enter. You can say it was out of pity. But if you thought of me to be a predator, if you thought that there was risk, pity or not pity, whatever the true reason is, you still invited me. And you still said to me that no other people thought of you for your birthday. And that's the reason. That might be the reason why you invited me, because you said that, well, I was there. Other people didn't seem to want to be there, but I was there. So you did not want to be alone, and so you invited me to be with you. And when I did enter, then Danny Lavoie started to manifest himself. He showed up. So you did not expect that. You know that there is a lot of strange things happening, and you just want to close your eyes over all of it and just make it like on the surface there's the psycho cousin that's after me for 10 years. But how do you look like in front of everybody over the YouTube with the knife and all? I don't think that was necessary, but that's what you decided to do. So why? The Father in heaven wanted it to be so, for to prove all things. You know, okay, the significance of it. You said, I was holding a knife. Then you show yourself saying, look, I was holding a knife, but it's you that's holding the knife, but to tell me that I was holding a knife. But every people that look at the video see that you are holding a knife. What does it mean? What do you think is the significance of it? Who's backstabbing who? Who is hurting who? It's not sure. Who's the predator? Who's the victim? We don't know anymore. Robert Kelly said himself. And it's him that pulled you back. Makes you think. Should make you think.
And I saw the other sister's look, and she was watching over the kids because you had that eerie look you have sometimes, and you seemed like you were looking for somebody or someone to appear, and you were walking around and with this knife. See, when I paint, I use these types of knives. Yet, that we both know, like that time around a bit before midnight when you were roaming around the apartment.
Why the side door then? If you're so vexed, why taking the time, even publicly talking about, but you know, there was a side door. Why didn't you try a little more? You know, I think that I tried already enough. But then, well, if I would have been more adventurous, I could still find my way in. It's very unbelievable to me that you were suggesting about communication in private, because those private communication, this is what the investigator put in over my face to try to bring me 20 years prison. So they were, you know, using those private conversation. It's so unbelievable to me that you cannot understand my hesitation. Except if it was taught beforehand to try to set another trap. So I have a hard time to trust you, yes. I do. I have a hard time to trust you. Because, you know, the knife, ready to stab me if I trust you again. I wish I could, but my stupidity, you said that I'm stupid to trust you. So how would you convince me? I really don't know how you would convince me that I should trust you and that you regret your words, and you don't think that, and you didn't really think that, and if you did think that, then I have to keep on believing that it would be stupid for me to trust you, because that's what was part of your testimony on the YouTube.
You had $500 in your pocket. And that time when with that, and I bet you he friend me, but it said didn't pass inspect and told me no, take it. Road with a strange car with a bouquet of flowers, and go see. Once I just ignored you. So once I finally got to see it, it needed tires, and I told you, like, in winter in Quebec you can't drive a car with no winter tires, so it was kind of a way to refuse it from you. But then he said, no, fine, I'll pay for tires. And like, I didn't ask you for a car. I have here in my notes all the subsequent repairs I are at that point want to maintain it, and the gas, the insurance, you go, and you paid to who needed for another car. Years out that suddenly out of nowhere $14,000 came out for roughly 2 months towards. Simple as that. Then towards buying myself a couch, paycheck that did comes $500 car, a paycheck that did go towards buying myself a couch. It went to pay Danny's rent. Simple as that. And no, I didn't know what had happened of the Bible, because Vincent left my place with the Bible and I never knew what had happened to it. So when you asked me with insistence, like, I didn't know what to say.
Why didn't you say the truth? Why didn't you why didn't you say the truth the first time? So you're telling me that when you don't know something, your way to answer, that you think is the best way to answer, is to just make up a story because you don't know what happened. Why don't you say that first instead of making a story and another and another? Because here what you said there is that you didn't know. So since you didn't know, you made up a story. You said, it was over the bench park. And after that, no, this happened, or this. And then after that, you say that the reason why you made up story after story after story was because you didn't know what to say to me. Well, why didn't you just say the part that you knew to be true? And the part that you didn't know, then you say, I don't know about this part. You cannot make up stories and saying that it was right because you didn't know what happened. You're not going to convince me, okay? You have done something wrong, and it's about time for you to admit. Because I suffered because of it. I suffered a lot because of it.
Nowhere, $14,000 came out. Doesn't add up, Jonathan. For roughly 2 months, $500 car, a paycheck that did go towards buying myself a couch. It went to pay Danny's rent. Simple as that. And no, I didn't know what had happened of the Bible, because Vincent left my place with the Bible and I never knew what had happened to it. So when you asked me with insistence, like, I didn't know what to say.
Well, when you knew, because you knew that you knew. Vincent Renault was presenting himself as Légion, the multitude of demons called Légion. When you knew that, why did you wanted to fight against me over the Bible, as you knew perfectly that Vincent Renault was presenting himself as Légion, the demon. Okay? An army of demons called Légion. You knew that he was thinking that about himself. He even said that you had, he left a comment over my page saying that you had invoked him, and he was going to do those threats physical against me, saying my God will not be able to save me from that. And then you furthermore added in comments over my page that I should be afraid of his might. Well, you said he just wanted to help. It's over here in some of your parts. Just wanted to help. You know, it's around these videos there, okay, behind the scenes of business trip, and you saying around here that you just wanted to help. Do you really think that putting those videos out there looks true to anybody? Even Robert Kelly. Robert Kelly, I said that he is the lying spirit that was sent in agreement with the Lord in order to entice. And so you are here. But even him, Robert Kelly himself, is getting vexed and shocked by what he get to see coming from you. So it's not that I want you to shut up. I want you to, to do what's right, to say the truth. But what was the real reason for all of that? For all of this that you did over the YouTube yourself, what was the real reason? To expose me. At all costs. So all those hidden videos that you kept unlisted, well, why not just uncover it all or delete everything? And start over with the truth. Because when you make statements like, you did not know what to tell me, so you started to make stories. And then I insisted, so there's the harassment aspect, because I insisted, until you called the cops on me. And still, it was because you were lying. I just wanted you to say the truth, so it was harassment, and you called the cops on me. I risked 20 years of prison if Jesus would not have defended me. And all the people under the court thought that I was crazy to not take an advocate, and I still got away. You said what? That I manipulated everybody. I manipulated every judges that got degrees to get to judge, to become judges. I mean, you're telling me that I outsmarted everybody. I outsmarted. I mean, they gave me a psychiatric, and after some time, they told me that the psychiatric they gave me was not strong enough to, to deal with me. So they gave me the best of their psychiatric, and the best of their psychiatric became red as tomato in front of the 3 judges after I could convince them that they had made a mistake. I mean, do you think really that it happened oftenly, those type of situations?
And see, okay? Shh. Anybody can see, okay? Destroy a book, whatever. He kind of curse awaiting for us.
You were aware about the curse. You were aware Vincent Renault presenting himself as Légion Demon, and you asked him to fight against me. And you're going to say you're so intelligent? I'm not going to say that was smart. I'm not going to lie to you, that was very stupid. Okay? To ask demons to fight against me over the Bible, that was very stupid. But that's what you did. Because you did foolishly. What it says in the Bible, because you did foolishly, you shall have war. Herein thou hast done foolishly, therefore from henceforth thou shalt have wars. For the eyes of the Lord run to and fro. You see behind me, there's not a painting, there's a door. The door is behind me. Jesus is the door. What I got when I'm recording, there's a door. To make the full scenery of the door, because then they're going to say, look, he's showing an upside down cross too. The point is that you were making your videos behind your painting that meant something. A spirit in the painting that you have made out of your own hands. Why else making the video testimony in front of your painting saying that you don't like to show yourself to the world? There was something over there that seems, you know, a little bit out of place. You say you don't want to show yourself to the world, then you show your painting right behind you. You made it the way that you would show only one of your eyes, and there would be one of the eyes of the painting lion. And after that, you went on to make another image out of it and put off black on. I mean, there's got to be something to it. For the eyes of the Lord run to and fro throughout the whole earth, to show himself strong in the behalf of them whose heart is perfect toward him. Not sinless, but to them whose heart is perfect toward him. Herein thou hast done foolishly, therefore from henceforth thou shalt have wars. When you're talking about Vincent Renault, he called himself Legion, demon. You knew it. You knew it. You even talked about you were afraid of a curse if you would do something bad with the Bible. But what do you think Jesus cares more? That you would do something bad with the Bible? Burning the book? Or that you would do something bad with me? Which do you think he would regard more? That you would let Vincent Renault wreck the Bible? Or that you would go with a demon to try to fight me? Because I've been just with you. I've been just with you. I've really been just with you. And it's hard for me. It's hard to do this. Why I do this then? Because I prayed and I asked Jesus years and years ago. I asked, you know the way. So that's why I do this. And we're getting to the end of the road.
Trying to help, I guess, people around me, and at one point it was just not a question of reasoning with you, and people around me trying to help, I guess, Vincent getting rid of the Bible, and I remember arguing with him about it.
Do you really believe in your heart that Vincent wanted to help? Or do you think that you use this man because, you know, you said, okay, he's looking very strong, very like much a giant, going to make scare my cousin, so he will stop bothering me? What was really in your heart? Do you believe that he did this to help? With all the conversation that I showed multiple times, I never answered back to him at the time. And he was just throwing at me over and over and over all the accusation over rape, continually. And I didn't touch you. He said he's a demon. He was crying again and again and again. Did you rape her? Will you rape her? I know you did. And I'm going to say to everybody to shame you. Well, where is he now, Vincent Renault? He's nowhere to be found. He can do nothing. Did you really think, did you really believe in your heart when you say Vincent wanted to help? Do you really believe in your heart? Because remember that when I talked about Danny, and first you defended him, and you said, well, he needed the money more. That's why I took the money from my cousin to give to the bastard. I mean, you said he needed the money more. I started to bash on him. And then you ended saying, it's true, the way I described him. So your lucid choice, were they lucid, or was it bad choice because of medication, or was it lucid? It's hard for me to follow your stories because you have a version that you talk about your lucidity and your choices. There's another version of yours that you talk about, well, you could not make good choices because you were not lucid because of medication. So it's hard to follow sincerity with you because it's not because you don't remember. You said that you remember. You said that the agenda are only supporting your memory. And when I ask you, well, what about the 2016 then? Because you were insisting on it. So it means what? That you remembered. And you thought it's over Agenda 2016. So you wanted to use Agenda 2016 first to support as proof. But then you found something else also in it, and you decided to altogether not show anything. Is that what happened? Or I'm always thinking too much of the spaghetti? What's going on here? I told you everything and you have nothing more to convince with words. Is this enough? Do you have enough? At the time that I was putting Arling as a name. But there is the Arling, and there is also stop calling me Arling. There is me and there is him. There's what I want, there's what he wants. Tamara was telling me, trying to discourage me, saying, don't even try. And I said to her, what? I said to her, well, what is the Father's will? The Father's will is going to come first. When I was with you, did I not put Jesus first? I could have put you first. I did put Jesus first. The will of the Father first. Because it's Him who's judging me. And He's been using you to judge me. And I said, almost 5 years ago, I said to Jane, you're going to have to judge me. And right away, he made a couple of videos, and he said he didn't want to do it. But because I asked him to do it, he did it. But that was not for that time. It was for now. I said in advance. I didn't know what would happen, but I said in advance. And then they say, there's no prophet. But I did say in advance. And now everybody that were there back then, they might remember it. And saying what's happening now, then they should believe that there was a prophet, because I did say in advance. You were not there. You were busy taking care of your best life, as you said, with Simone. But as you were doing this, I was doing something. And then it had to do with Jane Revel had made a YouTube channel only about Jonathan Clegg. But I said, you will have to judge me. And then he said he didn't want to do it really, but he did backward. And now, 5 years later, it's all become about judging me. As I said, 5 years prior to it, it happened. You remember when Jesus, he said in advance to, I'm not saying that he is Judas Iscariot, but it's a parallel. you know the types and antitype that Kelly Barr explained? When Judas Iscariot betrayed Jesus, he was told in advance. He said, to whom I give the soap. So he said in advance. And he still did betray him. When I said in advance, Jane, you're going to have to judge me. And then he made a couple of videos that was that, but that was not really judgment. Not like it is now. Not like making all his effort every day about it. Now that's judgment. And I called the shots way in advance. So he knew it, and he still did it. Even though he said that he would not want to do it, and he did right away, but that was not yet. It was just a premise. I mean, Gene Revel even made mention that maybe he should watch his back because he saw how I was doing with everybody, and he thought maybe that he also should watch his back because, you know, it would be his turn someday. So it's spirits. And you try to make all of this like looking at the physical outward aspect of it. There's not just the outward, physical. There's the inward and there is spiritual. The art that you try to hide for so long. It's evident that you're not believing what you're saying here. So what else? What else? When you did fill the cup again, what did you do it for? Why did you fill the cup again? You knew that I said it meant. I said that it meant that you were ready. Because you believed that ça mérite redevance. And you did fill the cup. But you were not ready because you did want to do it only because you thought that you owed me. Then after that, you saw the evil that I did to you. So you thought, okay, I don't owe him. The debt is paid. But I never wanted you to do this or to pay a debt. I've tried to deserve. But you thought it was not a display of love. It was, on the contrary, getting you convinced that keep to your second thought and don't hold to the first thought that you know is the true thought. When I told you about Mary Magdalene, the very first thought that you had and you said out loud, you said it must be true. Now you've got videos when you say that you denied me in part 2 actually. You said that he denied me, and you said that you rejected, the thing about Rachel, Mary Magdalene. But how is it that when I told you, when I was in privacy with you, and I told you about Mary Magdalene, and the first thought, your first thought, was it must be true. How come then it goes a long way with your second thought 10 years later, and you say that you rejected that role, and instead you wanted to have the role, another role. So, because you're lying to yourself, and you know the truth, and you always believe me. You always believe me. I know you always believe me. But it's always because of the shame that you make those decisions of yours. So in part 2, you say you denied, but when you were with me alone, well, he was there too. And you said, what? The first thought, the very first thought, without thinking, you said, so was it the first thought? Even without thinking, right there, you said it must be true. Why did you say it must be true? Tell me.
Jonathan, did you think I was stupid enough not to fact check my stuff?
You didn't fact check enough. in your testimony, why don't you say the truth about your reaction, the first thing that you told me when I talked about Mary Magdalene? Why don't you talk about this? I still don't understand what you expect from me once I deny being Rachel / Magdalene or you being Jacob / Peter, Elijah. The thing is that when you were alone with me, I'm sure you remember this. As soon as I told you about Mary Magdalene, you told me it must be true. And what you had in mind was not what I had in mind. Because what you had in mind was about the prostitution, and what I had in mind was about the washing of the feet. So, you said it must be true. And it was not for to glorify yourself about washing the feet, but instead you thought about the shame. But you know, everybody in the Bible got a part of their role that is for to glory and a part that is for shame. It's just that I was thinking about the part glory with you, but you thought of the part shame. You know, when you are truthful, Jesus giving you that power. Why do you think you could not win the game? I mean, you said you're bad at this game. You're losing at this game. Well, it's because you're not trustful. You're not trying with the truth. Okay? Why don't you start trying with the truth? Do you trust in the truth? Or do you trust only in lies? Do you rely only in demons? Or will you ask the Holy Spirit to guide you and stop thinking every green thing under the sun to help you for guidance? So that's what is the message. And I'm at the end of the road. And I'm getting tired of recording an hour again video because on every angle possible I'm trying to deliver this to you, hoping that you will catch, even though I'm deleting quickly, because the part that you have time to catch, then this is the part that was meant for you to catch. It was not meant all for you neither. But my motivation, I did all of it for you. And there is His will, there is what I want, there is what He wants. The will of the Father comes first. Because if I decide to put anything first before Him, then I know that He can just remove it all far from me and forever and ever. So I'm not taking that risk. And that's why I put Him first. And that's why it sounds so weird, my way of courtship. Because you must be thinking, how is it that I'm making it on purpose almost to lose my chances that I have with you? Well, it's because I know that His plan is better than any plan that I could come up with. Even the most straightforward, even when I can get, I'm still thinking that there must be a better plan. I believe in Him. And you said that I should not trust you. So the choice is easy. You asked me to choose between my friend Samuel and you. Well, Samuel, he always been with me. But you were always trying to discourage me. So the choice is easy again. You make it easy for me to choose. I still got a choice, you're giving me a choice, but you make it easy, the choice. Where's the competition between Jesus and you? And where's the competition between my friend Samuel, who always stay with me, and you that always trying to discourage me? The choice is easy. How could you make the choice become a little harder? What can you come up with that and if you put the video about the spaghetti, it's because you are so thinking about it a lot yourself. Okay, I got to put this out there because it is proof by itself that it's very hard to deny. Okay, very hard to deny. So, PSA to men, listen up, stop being creeps. And it's about hypocrisy.
Okay, PSA to all men. Just because a girl is wearing a low-cut shirt or a tight top or a fitted outfit doesn't give you permission to just stare at their chest. It makes us so uncomfortable, and if you guys could please stop doing it, it would be amazing. Men will always be like, oh, we don't like being called creeps, or we're so scared to be called creeps, but then you guys make it so difficult for the female species to exist or even wear anything.
Can you see, guys, how some women are so hypocrites? Why? Because they also have videos like this on their page on TikTok.
Okay, I just got back from the gym, and this might be a hot take, but petition to ban dating apps.
So how can you say, guys, that you want men to not stare at you, to not be creeps, but you have videos like that on your TikTok?
Des milliers de gens d'ici comme Joseph testent nos articles. Encore, encore et encore. Vous savez donc qu'ils sont faits pour durer. Seuls les meilleurs obtiennent le saut.
It's day 27 of sailing across the Pacific Ocean alone.
Vanilla activities.
Alone, and I got company.
It will be something that can eat you.
I am in the largest storm I've been in on.
See, I knew it. Bunch of whales. My chocolate brain told me, don't go to the middle of the ocean alone. Things they have can eat you.
Been in on passage, and I think that these are porpoises.
And they are about to test vanilla.
They are something in between a dolphin and a killer whale, or
Bro says those words, yet he is standing there looking like he left his survival instincts on land.
There's some type of whale? I have no idea. There's so many of them.
I do. My chocolate brain does. It's because that is how they travel and hunt for food.
Oh my god, incredible.
Chocolate says ninja, vanilla says incredible.
No way! After being alone for nearly a month,
voluntarily in the middle of the ocean, introvert level 9,000.
It's really good to have some company.
Bro thinks they are his friends. He doesn't know he is chicken nuggets, the ocean is McDonald's, and those whales are me.
It's like the game you're trying to catch when you get to click. Oh, I got it. Are you prepared to be amused? You see, I remember everything. Almost. A muse. Cause someone to find something funny, entertain. Provide interesting and enjoyable occupation for someone. That's why I made the other video. But here, over René Franklin, John Quinton, I did not have anything to do with you or your videos being reported, you simple twit. René saying, now wise, is that any way for the literal only begotten Son, the Father, you know, of heaven, to act calling others names? Like twit, simple twit. Get your fake self off my page. So over here, from John Quinton page, René Franklin called it fake self. Over his page, zero discernment at work with me, zero discernment about Gene Revel and Mr. Nylon too. And at this point in the video, he's talking about how Kelly saying that Gene was doing a good job. Okay, so Kelly was saying Gene was doing a good job. And he was. And because now there's something bad to say about Gene, then John Quinton said that there was zero discernment. Yet, I just posted a video just now talking about 5 years ago. I said that Gene would have to judge my spirit. And here we are today. At the end of the video, John Quinton saying that I and Kelly had no discernment over Gene Revel, but we had discernment over everything else. That's from the words of John Quinton. So would he be part of that everything else? Listen carefully, okay? Putting the volume up, you know, he's going to say it's a tactic for me to do what I do best, because I turn the volume up.
That he was doing great. What he was doing. Zero discernment on Gene Revel. Yet you think you have discernment on other things. Discernment on Gene Revel. Gene and what he was doing. Zero discernment on Gene Revel. Yet you think you have discernment on other things. This is what Kelly had to say with her own mouth about Gene, that he was doing great.
If I can, you know, Gene was doing what he was doing, and everybody was doing, as far as I was concerned, a great job.
Everybody was doing a great job when they were all persecuting Kleck. I swear. And anybody that watched Gene's channel, I mean, I said from the beginning who and what Gene was. But if you watch Gene's channel, and you still watched him after his, what I call his Bark at the Moon album, where he was out at night looking up at the moon, barking, whining about Jonathan Kleck. I swear.
But then who was he? Because you said that from the beginning you said who Gene was. So who was he then? You just said that from the beginning you said who Gene was. So who was he? Who was he?
That was a really sad video. Everybody was doing a great job when they were all persecuting Kleck. I swear. And anybody that watched Gene's channel, I mean, I said from the beginning who and what Gene was. But if you watch Gene's channel, And you still watched him after his, what I call his Bark at the Moon album, where...
Okay, I don't know what John Quinton said who was Gene from the beginning, but I know and I remember what I said from the beginning and who I said Gene was from the beginning. I remember. And I kept repeating it. I said that he's Abednego. You know the story with the fire? The fire that would not hurt because they held to the Lord. Fire was not hurting until videos came out against the Lord. So I remember, and it's on the keys. I never changed my mind. I said, he's Abednego. What has to do with the story? Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego, they were thrown in a fire. The fire would not hurt them. What's the context? It's because they held to the Lord. The hurt started when there was no longer about a battle defending, was it either the Lord or the Lord God against Jonathan Clegg, but now it was becoming all about against the Lord, the Lord is not the Lord, Jesus. And then the hurt started. So I don't know what John Quinton said from the beginning, Bark at the Moon. But people that have been following the story, they should remember. I mean, I was not over the house of John Quinton before a long time, not too long ago. But why are you not just plainly saying who did you say Gene was from the beginning? Because I just said who I said that Gene was from the beginning, and it's not just putting it out there that I said who was Gene. I said Gene is Abednego. I explained why. I just said it. What's the story about it? And why it turns out to be the way it is. But John Quinton, he can only show his feet.
Swear. And anybody that watched Gene's channel, I mean, I said from the beginning who and what Gene was.
Who is he then?
If you watch Gene's channel, and you still watched him after his, what I call his Bark at the Moon album, where he was out at night looking up at the moon, barking, whining about Jonathan Clegg. I swear, that was a really sad video. I wish I had that video. I'm sure someone has it. But anyhow.
Amuse. Cause someone to find something funny, entertain. They all said they were over there because of entertainment. Cause someone to find something funny, entertain. But at the same place, that was not about seeking the truth, but cause someone to find something funny, entertain. They all, the people that were raising their voice, they said, we think it's funny, it's entertaining. Robert Kelly, the very leader of the direction it took, because they said it's me who broke apart the Gene Revel YouTube channel, but it wasn't me. Who asked for a separation? It was Robert Kelly. Why everybody who got offended? Because Robert Kelly said that I was an obstacle, and then he wanted to make separation. But they were all saying that it was because it was funny, and now it was less funny, and it was more about the truth. So, cause someone to find something funny, entertain, provide interesting and enjoyable occupation for someone. But then, it's kind of convicting when they said that they were there for amusement. It's kind of convicting. And do you see how he's laughing all the time about it? You know you can die of laughing too much, John Quinton.
Jonathan Kleck. I swear. That was a really sad video. I wish I had that video. I'm sure someone has it. But anyhow, Kelly and Mr. Nylon, zero discernment on Gene Revel, but yet they got discernment on everything else. Discernment on Gene Revel, but yet they got discernment on everything else.
So that should include you then. Are you being ironic? Are you being ironic also when you say that we had no discernment over Jane? Are you being ironic when you said that from the beginning you said who was Jane?
Discernment on Gene Revel, but yet they got discernment on everything else.
So if my cousin wants to know where it came from, this great interest to try to put me down from John Quinton, well, it goes back to here.
Hi everyone. This laughter is being brought to you by the letters N-O-L-I-N. I'm nothing. Peace to you, Jonathan.
Did you hear the train at the end coming for him?
This laughter is being brought to you by the letters N-O-L-I-N. I'm nothing. Peace to you, Jonathan.
Was it a boat horn or was it a train? Something's coming for him for sure. You don't put your name, the only begotten Son of the Father of Heaven, without any consequences, John Quinton.